So many times I should have taken back this moment. These words I spoke, I know it. Now I can see clearly. I folded, I shouldered too much weight. I hold it, too much pain, and it destroyed me, and then rebuilt me, and now it can feel me. It follows me everywhere I go, but it can never break me. Now I know I was lying to myself back then, but the truth was always out my pen. I fade back to myself in the end. I'm just one step away. I ascend, I climb that faded staircase. I'm reaching in vain just to hold on to them once again. The memories seem to blend. My enemies and friends seem to vanish in the wind. What does it take to be one step closer to your dreams? Does it mean everything in between where you are right now and where you wanna be? Must suffer for the cause like it ought to be. Me against the world in apostrophes. You look around like ain't nothing stopping.
Yeah! How y'all doing out there? Alright. Thank you for joining me this evening. How y'all feel? Cause I feel so. How you feel? Awesome. I guess that's awesome. You fine and your is awesome. Wanna roll? Awesome. Well, let's go. Awesome. Yeah. Hands in the sky like AWE. Some call me awesome. Some call me busy. Call me often. Gator on my shirt. What did it look awesome? I'm good. Please don't cross some. How rude. Stephanie Tanner, you don't gotta watch me, but please watch your manners. And I be getting green so mean. Bruce Banner, give the flow and presence, man. I'm the new Santa, and I'm saying Kansas where I'm staying with. Be like pops on the wings, and even through the hating and walls, they thought I'd stay in. Who you playing? I don't win. Super Saiyan, this that. Off the glass, off the floor, off the floor jam. We in the building. You wishing you had the floor plans. You just a doorman. Doorman. I wish I had more hands. Now tell me what got two thumbs and knows how to spit rhymes. Two thumbs up, you go point them at the sky. Al Edison couldn't be this fly. So ask how I feel, and you know I reply like I feel so awesome. How you feel? Awesome. I guess that's awesome. You fine and your awesome. Wanna roll? Awesome. Well, let's go. Awesome. Hands in the sky like
history in the making, ain't you feeling it? Steve Flow, they say I'm on some show stealing. My solo discography, I'm building it. Now every time you hit the
Welcome, everyone, to the NBA live on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan, alongside Clark Kellogg and Steve Kerr. And our sideline reporter is Doris Burke. This Arizona crowd ready to roar in this Western Conference matchup for the Phoenix Suns. And this matchup with the Lakers, it's their first meeting of the season. They could only manage a single win in 4 tries against these guys last year.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see how this season series plays out. This is the first of 4 games these two teams will play.
A look here as we present the State Farm starting 5. A look at who the Lakers have on the floor. World Peace, it's Solon Bynum of the front court. Sessions out there with Kobe. And for Phoenix, Hill out there with Markieff Morris. Then it's Gortat, then it's Brown, and it's Nash in at the point. And in terms of the 4 games between these two this season, I think it's a series that could get pretty heated as the games go on.
Well, we'll see what kind of tone is set here tonight. I think that might go a long way to determining what the rest of the series is like.
Here is Sessions. 8 points his last outing. The dish to Bynum. Defended by Nash. Bynum kicks to Barnes. Out of bounds. And they'll keep possession.
You know, for the Suns last season at U.S. Airways Center, 23-18 was the record at home. Still above 500, but of course not the kind of mark they've been used to setting there in the past.
Earlier, Doris Burke spoke with head coach Mike Brown. And what'd you find out, Doris?
It's no secret that Steve Nash is the motor for their offense, and I asked him how he planned to slow him down. He said there really is no way to stop Nash from going where he wants, and they'll just try to rotate well to recover when they get that ball flying around on the offensive end.
And thank you for that, Doris. Steve, that record of 23-18, that was their worst in the last 7 seasons at home.
Now, things may get worse before they get better for Phoenix because they've got some older players, and this is a franchise that's got some difficult decisions to make. And it's also a franchise that is very accustomed to winning. One of the all-time leaders in winning percentage in the NBA.
He dishes it to Morris. Nash outside. Fires the 3. Gets it to go. Nash has got 6 points.
Come on now, you got to pay better attention than that on a shooter like him. He'll make that 10 times out of 10.
So timeout called here, the first for Los Angeles.
Fellas, when you look at the Lakers last season in the Pacific Division, they were 12-4. Pretty much the story. 3-1 against the Warriors, the Clippers, Sacramento, and even against the Suns, they went 3-1 as well.
Here's Kobe. He had a 21-point outing in their last game against the Warriors in Oakland. Like one of the things when talking about the Lakers also, they won against those teams, whether at home or on the road.
Well, they just dominated the Pacific Division, and they should have, guys, because that was one of the weaker divisions in the NBA. Phoenix was down, Golden State and Sacramento, the Clippers all down as well. So the Lakers should dominate that division. Man, is he hard to defend. You play him one way, he'll just go the other.
Here is Gortat. 8 points his last outing. Nash outside. 6 to shoot. Here's the Mayor, guarded by Kobe. The Mayor, another 3 for Phoenix. Here's Sessions. Under 5 minutes left in the first. Barnes up top. Backing down is Bryant. A jump hook, and again it's the Lakers.
And one of the things I really respect about Kobe Bryant, guys, is the fact that he continues to get better and refine his game. He's gotten a lot better down on the block, a lot like Michael Jordan did later on in his career.
Dudley against World Peace. Here's the Mayor. He has 5. With the clock winding down, and the Suns tack on 2 more. And Steve, speaking of Kobe's postgame, he worked with Hakeem Olajuwon, Clark, as I recall, in the offseason to pick up a few tricks.
And, you know, Kobe already had great footwork, Kevin, to begin with. I mean, a master of those pump fakes, but it starts with balance and good footwork. And he was really a quick study under Hakeem Olajuwon. I'm not surprised.
Here's the Mayor. Morris with the ball. Pulls up from the corner. Sessions with the rebound.
You know, you see some of the inconsistency in regards to his shooting. I mean, that last shot, I think that's prevented him from taking his game to the next level. Inconsistency on that kind of shot.
Defended by Nash. A leaner, and that one's good. It's a tie ball game.
Boy, what a great job of getting into the teeth of the defense and scoring in the paint.
And that's been their main point of attack. I mean, get the ball deep and try to score from in tight rather than rely on their outside shooting. I mean, that's a more consistent way to score. Take it inside.
Passes to Morris. Open look. The shot is off. And it's the Lakers taking it the other way. They come in fresh off a win against the Warriors.
And despite the fact that they shot so poorly, they were able to come up with the win. That was an impressive performance.
Not only shooting the ball, Steve, it wasn't a good game for them in a bunch of other areas as well. I mean, you got to give them credit, though. Even when they weren't at their best, they still found a way to pull it out.
Steps back and shoots. A nice shot by Nash. Nash has got 8.
You know, for a guy like him who can light it up like that, that's too easy.
Timeout called the Lakers.
Well, the Suns missed the playoffs a year ago, and there's a lot of speculation about whether they will begin a rebuilding process. Steve Nash obviously getting up there in years. So the question for Phoenix, do they trade him? Do they keep him? Do they still try to build around him? One thing's for sure, they need an infusion of young talent.
For the Suns. Seven seconds left to play in the first quarter. And here's Kobe from the arc. Well, it's been a high-scoring, competitive game through the first quarter of play. Suns ahead, leading by 3.
Pretty good start defensively. This club forced some mistakes and took advantage, and that's how they've built this lead.
And they've built the lead because not only have they forced turnovers, but they've taken care of the ball themselves. So that's a winning combination.
And we'll see you in just a moment.
Tune in this Saturday night. Kevin Durant and the Oklahoma City Thunder take on Dirk Nowitzki and the Dallas Mavericks. Live from Dallas. Hoops action.
Welcome back, folks. We have a close game here at the start of the second quarter of play. Here's Kobe. The mayor in at shooting guard. Josh Childress out there with Hill. And it's Michael Redd. And it's Nash in at the point. So that's the lineup on the floor for the Suns. Redd against Kobe. Hill. 5 to shoot. Nice D from Nash.
Well, that's not really what typically happens for someone with his touch around the rim. That's a surprise.
Picked up by Kobe. Nash against Sessions. Great ball movement. And Childress kicks to Nash. Launches a three. Another three for Phoenix.
Fellas, they are heating up from outside now.
Yep, of their last 5 hoops, 3 of them have come from long range.
And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2.
Kobe Bryant now in his 16th season in what has been one of the great careers in NBA history. He's battling age now, but still a very, very productive player.
A free throw drops for Kobe. And Steve, you know, for Kobe Bryant, as you said, battling age. He's 33 right now going into this season. Wear and tear, a part of the game. He's played so many minutes. Preseason, regular season, all those playoffs, Clark. He said his kneecap is almost bone on bone. He's got in our Riddick right index finger on his shooting hand. He continues on. The guy's tough.
Yeah, the battle scars of a long, successful career. And he takes pride in that, but he also recognizes the reality of it. And most of the time, you don't find out about those health issues. That's, again, a part of his desire to, once he gets between the lines, to focus 100% on the task at hand, not wanting to make excuses. And with his talent and his resume, he never needs to.
Nope, you're exactly right. Rebound by the Suns. They come into this one following a loss to the Thunder.
Well, the foul trouble was such a big factor in that game. And by the end of the game, they were really in trouble in that area.
Yeah, Steve, those were a lot of free points they handed over from the foul line. And that was a killer.
Guarded now by Nash. Pick up by Hill. Blake for 3. The shot misses. And it's the Suns taking it the other way.
Well, Mike Brown, a part of the Greg Popovich coaching tree. In fact, I played for him in San Antonio in 2003 when he was an assistant. Excellent coach. Really a guy who will emphasize the defensive end of the floor. That's his forte.
Now here's Kobe. He's got 8. And easy 2 points on the layup. Kobe's got 10. Steve, good point about Mike Brown. You know, Clark, his familiarity with the Western Conference and some of the big teams in that conference, I'm sure a big reason why the Lakers got him.
Well, I think all around he's just an outstanding coach. I mean, he's in his prime. He's a young, relatively young coach who's had tremendous experience. So his record is very impressive. His demeanor and personality and philosophy, I think, is really solid. It helps that he was coaching LeBron. But make no mistake, you just don't stumble into what he's been able to do as far as wins go. I mean, he's won almost 2/3 of his games as an NBA head coach, and that list is short when you start looking at the resumes of head coaches to have won 2/3 of the games you've coached in.
Blake for 3. Tries again. It's Gasol missing. The Suns leading. They'll be playing host to Portland for their next game. That game will conclude a 3-game homestand. And the Lakers have possession. They've only allowed 5 points in the quarter. It's stolen by Hill. Here's the Suns with the ball. Nash outside. And here is Childress. Just 5 on the clock. Fires from the wing. And the basket good. Childress has got 4 points now in the quarter.
You know, when he scores buckets like that, Kevin, it just shows that he can bring some of that X factor for his team.
Gasol passes to Kobe. Yep, it's good.
They don't seem to have many answers for him in this game. He's doing a terrific job out there. Outstanding work.
He passes to Red. Kobe with the steal. The Lakers trail. And it's all evened up. Sessions got 10.
The finger roll finish. A little finesse for you, folks.
And Phoenix has possession. Here's the mayor. Lays out. Gasol against Hill. Nash outside. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. It's going to be on Kobe Bryant.
Tough run here the last couple of seasons for Michael Redd. He's torn both his ACL and MCL the last couple of seasons, and he did both of them twice. That's almost unheard of.
Gortat's checked in for the Suns. Morris comes in for Josh Childress. And then for the Lakers, Andrew Bynum's checked in for Hill. And it's World Peace in for Steve Blake. Suns lead by 2.
It's Friday night. You got a date with the NBA. It's the HP Halftime Report. At U.S. Airways Center, the Suns in a close one against the Lakers. A tough start for them this season. They need some wins, but you got to get them one at a time. Steve Nash has been simply taking over against the Lakers. High percentage looks in the first half. Amazing work from the field, shooting in the high 60s. That's big-time bucket by him. Not to be outdone, the Lakers also giving it their all. They've been rock solid defensively, and with all those blocks, they've got the other team running for cover. Kobe Bryant, huge impact. He has 12 points and is also working on the other end of the floor. Nice defensive work. A lot of offense here for the first half for these two, leading their teams in scoring. Around the league we go, scores and stories. The Bucks winning against the Bobcats in Charlotte. So with those contributions, they find a way to get the win. Monte Ellis led the team in points. And another game that also finished up out in Philadelphia was the 76ers losing to the Timberwolves. It wasn't even close, a big disappointment from this club. And a look here at the other action around the association. The Sacramento Kings currently trailing the Warriors out in Oakland. That one looks to be all but over. Time now to get you back out to the game in Phoenix. The second half is coming right up.
Here we go now, the start of the third quarter, welcoming you back in a closely contested first half so far. Here's Sessions.
Well, you know, a recent stat said that in the last 15 years, the Lakers are on average the best offense in the NBA. But in crunch time, ironically, they fall to around...
Here's the mayor. It's a three-point game. Brown outside. Picked up by Kobe. Now Childress. Here's Morris. 6 on the shot clock. And there's the rejection.
They're really hurting with his performance here. He just hasn't played up to his standards so far.
Here's the mayor. 5 points in the game. Brown dishes to Childress. Lakers leading by 3. Sessions with it. Gasol backing down. Takes it up. And it goes out of bounds following the shot. Here's what Phoenix has lined up on their schedule. They'll be playing host to Portland for their next game. That'll be the last of 3 straight at home for the team. Here's the mayor. Guys, this offense very effective.
Going right at him.
And this is where you just start picking apart the defense, and now you take their confidence away. You can really take control of this game.
Nice job coming off that screen.
Boy, nice pick there, guys. I mean, gave him the space he needed for the hoop.
Kobe against Brown. Goes up and count it. 2 points with a chance for one more at the free throw line.
Boy, they keep going inside offensively, and guys, they've been very aggressive here.
Yeah, huge advantage in points in the paint, and I think the defense has to make an adjustment to protect the middle.
And he makes the free throw.
You know, for so long we've seen the Lakers coast into the playoffs, put themselves in a tight spot and find a way out of it. But in that series versus Dallas in last season's playoffs, they really looked like a tired and overmatched team.
Here's the mayor. He has 5. Now, here is Morris. Set it up with the fake, but it's offline. And for the Lakers, Kobe said, Clark, after that series, we've been playing with fire the last 3 years. Now, we finally got what we deserve. Steve, that is a very interesting quote. Take it apart for us and delve into it.
Well, I think the Lakers had been to the finals for 3 straight years, and I think they were worn out emotionally. And for a couple of those playoff series over the years, they did play with fire and get away with it. Not last year. Dallas just destroyed them, and I think the Lakers just looked tired, both physically and mentally.
Here's Brown, deflected by Kobe.
And are they ever working inside? Good job on the glass.
Excellent job on the glass, Steve. I agree. I mean, they're battling in there. They're fighting, they're scrapping, they're clawing, and they're getting the job done.
Here's Gasol. It's hauled in by the Suns.
So far, he hasn't made much of a contribution at the offensive end.
Brown against Kobe. From 20 feet out. They get it again. And Childress kicks to Brown. Here he's it from three-point range. Brown's got 10 points in the game.
Three-pointers have been a huge problem for this defense.
Yeah, they've been a day late and $1 short. I mean, and it's costing them. You got to get there sooner.
And here is Barnes. Knocking down is Bryant. Shoots. It goes down off the front of the rim. Kobe's got 15 points here in the second half.
They continue to barrel their way inside, and when's the defense going to adjust?
Well, I'm asking the same question myself, partner. I mean, that's 8 points out of their last 10 coming inside.
He kicks it to Lopez. Here's the mayor. He's covered by Sessions. Sessions gets whistled for blocking. That'll be his second foul of the game.
That's the right call there. He tried to take the charge, but did not have position.
No, he didn't, Steve. He was out of position and a clear block.
Here's what Phoenix has got going on right now. Gortat's checked in for Lopez. Fry comes in for Morris, and it's Hill in for Childress. The Lakers also changing it up. Andrew Bynum's checked in for Gasol. Josh McRoberts comes in for Matt Barnes. And it's Devin Ebanks in for Meta World Peace. Here's the mayor, guarded by Kobe. That's good. He has 7. Here's Kobe. 27 points for him. 3 seconds left. That's good.
I'll tell you what, this is as dialed in as you will ever see a play.
And you know what, Steve? If they're smart, they'll get him the ball every trip down.
That concludes the third quarter. It continues to be an exciting neck-and-neck game.
Kobe having just a fantastic game. He has 29 points, and he's been a brick wall today with all those blocks.
Has he ever? And he's really making them think twice.
Coming up next Thursday night, Kevin Durant and the Oklahoma City Thunder go up against Derrick Rose and the Chicago Bulls. East versus West. You don't want to miss it.
And now our sideline reporter, Doris Burke, has a report for our Sprite Spark of the game. Doris?
Hey, Kevin, well, the spark in this one? Kobe Bryant. Well, there hasn't been a whole lot that he's done wrong in this one as he keeps making plays for his team and leading the way. Should be a good end to this game, guys.
All right, Doris, thank you. It's, Clark, been a terrific game for him.
I agree with you, and we'll see if he can maintain it. He's been going full throttle thus far.
Well, the pace he's been going has been really incredible, and you wonder if he's got anything left here in the fourth quarter.
Our fourth quarter action underway, presented by Gatorade. All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups. On the court for the Suns, the Mayor in at the 3. Gortat is out there with Hill. Then it's Nash, and it's Brown in at the shooting guard. Blake for 3, and unable to corral the miss, and it goes on a play. Here's a look at the schedule for the Los Angeles Lakers. Following this one, they get to host the Hornets. That game will be a quick pit stop before hitting the road again. Here is Nash. There's a screen by Gortat. Nash, the pass to Gortat. There it is. It's Nash picking up the assist. Gortat's got 4 points in the quarter.
An excellent display of passing out there, fellas. I mean, 8 of their last 10 points have been assisted on.
Well, they continue to find the open man and play unselfishly. This is true team basketball we're seeing.
Bynum on the money. And the Lakers lead by 1.
Man, they have a huge advantage in points in the paint. Look at that.
Oh, and this defense is getting pushed around a bit too much for my liking. They're just not competing at a high enough level here.
Again, Phoenix.
Yeah, they are just lighting them up from mid-range area.
You know, sometimes we forget about the value of the mid-range or in-between game. This team has made 8 of their last 10 with that shot, the in-between shot.
Backing down is Brown. Moving the ball well. Here's the Mayor. Shot clock at 5. The tray. And it's Brown missing. So it's the Lakers now. Now Morris. Picked up by Brown. Blake dishes to Bynum. Sweet move. The basket drops, and he gets fouled on the shot. 1 free throw coming his way.
It's been a little too easy for them inside, hasn't it?
Yeah, I think so, Steve. I mean, they've really dictated the action in the paint. That's been their focus, and the defense hasn't mounted much resistance at all.
And Andrew Bynum, a guy who has been hit with injuries throughout his career. But when he's healthy, the Lakers are so tough to beat because of the length and size that Bynum and Gasol provide for that front line.
Hill, no good.
Couldn't convert, but nice little two-man game there.
And it wouldn't surprise me to see them go back to that the next trip.
Morris kicks to McRoberts. They set the pick. Feeds to Blake. There's the triple. Gets it to go. And it's a 5-point Laker lead. And last season, there were a few grumbles, Steve, after Bynum missed the first month and a half of the season. You see, Bynum had delayed surgery. After the finals, Clark said that he could go to the World Cup soccer.
Well, when you're a pro basketball player, that has to be your first priority. I'm a big-time soccer fan myself, but Bynum may have made a boo-boo there.
Yep.
Yeah, but he was ready to go come playoff time, and, you know, that's kind of the Lakers' go-to philosophy. Just be ready when the playoffs show up. And he did play pretty well in the postseason.
Blake with it. He's covered by Brown. Puts it up. And there's Andrew Bynum on the assist by Blake. 14 points for Bynum.
Boy, he's been so cool out there. Composed, never rattled. I mean, a very steady contributor to the offense.
And plenty of contact on the shot. So, 2 free throws coming up.
I thought Shannon Brown made so much improvement last season, guys. He scored well, and he worked really hard to improve his weaknesses, which were his ball handling and his outside shooting, so he became much more of a complete player.
And the Lakers making a change here. Jordan Hill, he's checked in for Josh McRoberts. Murphy comes in for Devin Ebanks. Kobe's checked in for Steve Blake. And Sessions subbed in for Morris. And he sinks. And so it's the Lakers who come out on top here. And Clark, you know, it was quite a nail biter.
Yeah, it was tight. Their guys were able to come up with big plays down the stretch, and that's the difference.
Thank you for joining us for this presentation of NBA basketball on 2K Sports. For Clark, Stephen Doris, and the rest of the crew, Kevin Harlan saying see you next time.
Your coach was quoted as saying after the game that the team was really broken up about tonight's loss. In fact, he said a couple of the guys were even crying about it in the locker room afterwards. What do you have to say about that?
I don't really know what to tell you. Every single player on this team puts it all out there every time they step on the court. And a couple of them wear their hearts on their sleeves. Combine all that with a tough loss like tonight, and sure, some guys are going to get a little emotional. Nothing wrong with that, man. If anything, it's just a reminder of how much those guys care and how much harder we have to work again the next time to make sure we don't lose a game like this again. Real talk.
Yeah, okay. I'm the best, I don't have to practice. Double team, I don't have to pass it. Ballin' hard in our Chevrolets, more vets than the Dallas Mavericks. Hall of Famer like Shaq and Magic. Kobe Bryant, now back to back it. Shoot the three if I have to nash it. Dwight Howard when I'm at the basket. In the gym, but not the Nastics. D-Wade, got to flash it. Checking account, got so many O's. My name at the is Robert Parrish. When it comes to the J's, I got the classics. Jason Kids, and I got the Patricks. Number one, now all the draft picks. Championship, got to have it. Been a starter since day one. I'm with Kanye, I'm with Akon. I run with kings like Tyree, cause I've been the prince like Tayshaun. But I feel like LeBron everywhere I go. Cause every time I score, you know. Them haters looking at me, looking sideways.